And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in dotAge. Winter has arrived, and this part is going to be the winter of year 1. We got 4 unemployed pops. We don't actually have a lot of things they necessarily need to do. Okay, let's get the other barbecue going. So if anything, we're actually eating or producing too much food. Unless I can get these guys swapped over to something else. Although I don't need this much nature. Yeah, so these only eat uncooked, or only consume uncooked resources. So only the tomatoes, only the chicken. Uncooked chicken. We don't need the nature, so we'll turn the nature off. Which of course leaves me with more people who have nowhere to work. We got a hunter going over there. So our hunting will probably actually be consumed pretty quickly. And then we'll do a little bit of skinning on what's left. We might as well get the lumber going, because we actually got some uses for lumber. Got 4 unemployed people, so we can get you working. I don't even need those working, it's the kind of the problem. We're obviously not planting anything, so we don't need seeds. We don't need that much hemp. Can I swap you to consume something that isn't tomatoes? No, it's got to be tomatoes. If you're working there, it's tomatoes. Of course, I can just tell you not to work there. We don't really need that resource. Which, of course, leaves me with more unemployed people with nothing to do. Yes. Well, nothing important to do. So the hunting resource is going to go away at some point. So I suppose I could just be prepping for more gathering spots. So we've got 5 empty spots. We got 6 empty workers. The hunters are going to come off, so that's 2 more that could work. Although we probably want some meat, so get the hinky going. Temporarily, that's not a bad place to dump some workers, and then... yeah, let's build a few extra gather spots. We don't need them, but sometimes getting things done before you need them is just useful. There we go. Cycle the turn, we'll get a cauldron. We'll probably want to start building the cauldron. Let's be one of a dwelling and a water source. We'll probably want to build a new water source, or a new dwelling for that, to maximize that. And we do have stuff we can make that food out of, although we're not desperate to make that food out of it. Make it food. We'll just build a cauldron because we can, sort of thing. There's the cauldron, which introduces the concept of the kitchen and the butcher, which is what we're working on next, because that'll provide us a source of luxury food. I believe the meatballs are luxury food. We know the stew is luxury food. I'm not sure if the meatballs are. I think the meatballs are. That's a pretty bad ratio if they weren't luxury food. Anyway, you want a cobblestone path to dwelling. We've got cobblestone, that shouldn't be too hard. +1 if leisure building within 2, which isn't going to be very hard, and needs to be within 2 of a dwelling, so getting a kitchen going will not be difficult. And then getting someone to do kitchen work will not be difficult. Okay. So cauldron wants dwelling, wants water, and we're out of metal. So we actually can't build this turn. Although we probably want the dwelling, right? So We can start building the dwelling, and then we can come back for the work site. Or one of the hemp workers that we don't need on hemp. Build a cabin. And then we'll have the metal next turn to do the construction, so that'll be fine. And yeah, we're good to go. Yeah, we're going to be wasting hemp, but we're going to be wasting something. We've prepared for winter. We're not at the point in winter when all the chicken will be gone. The chicken's not limitless. We're gonna eat all the chicken, and then we're gonna be working on the backlog. The hunter will run out of things to hunt. Well, the hunters will run out of things to hunt because we've got 2 hunters going. Okay, so now we got the iron. So we can take another person off of hemp. Put him on iron making, or on making that pot cauldron. So it's giving us the minimum recipe, right? So the minimum recipe is 5, which actually is probably the one we're going to do. But getting boosted by the water, it'll get boosted by the dwelling, another 2. We're wasting hemp. We'll be less wasting hemp when we can actually start making fabric in a turn. Well, I think we actually got to train the person to make the fabric, so once the person's done training to make the fabric... There's the kitchen. If you go into the tech tree, you should unlock a bunch of new stuff. Yeah, so the next row there is unlocked. Cultivation that hasn't unlocked anything. Although, at this point, we now have access to full thing of cultivation. Community. That's given us access to the juggler and the theater. So the theater is going to require a bourgeoisie person to work it. But under the right circumstances, can be making 15 base plus 25. So making 40 hope in one turn at the cost of 2 books. We're not actually making books, so that would be pushing it. But that's something we've been doing. Juggler stage consumes tools, but again, that's making 14. That's making pretty good return for a worker that we've already basically got trained. It's the performance stand, but better at the cost of tools. Oh, and we could be going up the cloakmaker line to be making warmth there. The hippie and the forest shrine. Intensifies nature production. And this is actually built on the forest. So this would buff, say we put it next to the greater altar. When this is being worked, it provides 14. And I think it also just buffs the neighboring place by 4. We're not far enough down this side to actually see anything else that's been unlocked, but unlocked that. Construction, brickmaker, smeltery, and carpentry. Carpentry. This is the upgrade furnace, basically. Cobblestone path to dwellings. We have to cobble the cobblestone path, the route. It doesn't have to be as close to the mine, so this could be a different building, to be fair. Brickmaker turns stone into brick. Some of the more advanced buildings are going to require brick. Don't think we're that deep in the tree yet that anything requires brick. Planks we might want. We might want to get the carpentry going. +1 if woodmaker within 1, +1 if clearing path to dwelling. I'm going to pick up cloakmaker in case we're having heating issues. That's what we're working on. We got 2 free workers. I may have been thinking of something to do with these guys. We finished this building. We need someone to be trained. New tools. So that's one of them. And the other one's probably just going to go work on hemp. Oh no, we need to get the we need to work towards kitchen, or I want to work towards the kitchen, which requires a cobblestone dwelling to cobblestone path to dwelling. Oh, to get the plus, it needs the cobblestone path to dwelling. So we could put it there. We could put it there. I think I'm going to put it there, and then we can cobblestone the town hall. To get the extra +1 to get it up to 4. Okay. Second return. Working our way through winter. We can see some chicken blood up there. So we're gonna run out of chickens pretty quickly. The chickens will be back in spring, but they're not gonna replace during the winter. Is what's gonna go on. Okay, no idle workers. We haven't necessarily researched or changed anything, so that's fair. We're still oversupplying a bunch of things. So here's the cold event, which is probably going to be the least, or is the last cold event until after the Doom. There might be another one after the Doom. And this is a good event. And the game's going like, you need some wood, right? I don't, but thanks, game. The wood stockpile is now overly full. I'll take the orange cat. So now the orange cat, which is one of the very important creatures that can spawn, can now spawn. It has presumably 4 events associated with it. And then we'll probably do the good boy. And in fact, we haven't technically unlocked snow, so we probably won't get snow, even if we had a bad event during the winter here. So we got 2 free workers. Probably bounced off of something. One of them came off the hunter, so we can get the getting stuff from there. Not sure where the other one bounced from. Oh, we finished the cauldron. Do I have someone who can work the cauldron? No cook available. We only got 2 cooks, no cooking. Fair enough. What recipes do we actually have available here? For us, we got tomatoes, or we got eggs. We don't have the other missing ingredient somewhere else. And we actually don't have any eggs, so it's tomatoes. This, to be fair, this is base at 5, so it's actually being buffed to 9 right now. Which we really that wouldn't be useful amount of food, but we'll train a cook up just in case. A spare cook. There's the cloak maker. The cloak maker's followed up with the cloak craft workshop, which uses fabric, which is probably what we'd actually prefer. Although it requires a heat maker within one. Unlike... Oh no, you even require the heat maker within one. So I can't quite put it in the middle of the housing establishment, where it would be real powerful. Although it's still pretty powerful. But in a corner. Yeah, this is probably the one we want to run, so let's start researching that one. Requires a heat maker within one, yeah. So we can do it like there, and I just gotta get a way to get into the corner, which shouldn't be too hard. Not enough lower. That's fair. I'd rather you do the hemp recipe anyway. There you go. Okay, and that's the other hunter done. So at this point, we are on finite chicken stocks. When the chicken runs out, the chicken runs out. Although we're just short of 20 turns worth of chicken. So not necessarily seeing how long winter... How long does it say winter? Okay, so we've got enough to make it through the winter. We're not going to run out of chicken during the winter. At least with the current population. Do I need... Yeah, well, might as well take that for the turn. Oh, I've just remembered I need to get the path in. The cobblestone path. Get the kitchen working better. Beware, a doom event is coming soon. Prepare for it may be the end of the village. Okay, so we need to get one of these running. That's easy enough. I want a cobblestone path. There. We really don't need that fire. Although I do want another heat maker. I'll put another large barn fire here. And then we'll put the cloak craft here. Although we may not need to use it during this winter. We may be sort of preparing for a future that is well in the future. Bit of worker. Yeah, you're not that picky. Other than you need to be adjacent to a heat maker, which is why I put a heat maker there. Which of course means I can't start on the building until 2 turns are up, at least. Right, because you won't go in until we have... Oh, you're the cloth maker. Let's define tailor. I suppose it's under heat. It's cloak maker. You won't go until we have a heat maker next door anyway. Okay. So we can't put you in anywhere. We got one free pip. Where do we want to send this pip off to? Oh, we've got you going, eating our tomatoes. You know, I don't actually have a problem with you making those tomatoes. That's fair. Where I actually have negative complete on him. some... replaced liking with infatuated, with some long-distance kissing there. Oh, and you, if you... Is it every other turn on hemp recipe, or is it every other turn on everything? Okay, so it's every other turn on hemp. So I'm making... Did I just reset the recipe? That's fine, we don't need the cloth. We don't need the cloth right now, but... we're overproducing hemp is what's going on. That's fine. Okay. Next turn that'll be done, so we can build the first tier of that, which we then turn around and immediately upgrade into that one. Okay, so you are going to make that building there. I'm going to take a hemp maker because I think I want to change something. I'm going to put the signpost... Actually, I'm just going to destroy the signpost. Hopefully this doesn't cause a problem. Or, no, not that signpost. I need to destroy that signpost, which then does mean I need another signpost. That's fair enough. Let's put it there and hope it doesn't cause a problem. I may need another one there. Because I want to destroy that so I can put my plank maker here. I think it's the plank maker that wants to be next to plank, or next to log making. +1 next to wood maker, +1 to clearing path to dwelling. Okay. Okay, we can just shove another house over here. We're not even necessarily putting people in the houses because we don't need the people right now. We may want them later, but we don't need them right now. Okay, there's the Cloak Craft Workshop, which will provide a lot of heat because it's +1 per bit next to it, and so that's going to be 10. 10 plus 10, yeah, so it's going to be worth 20 heat when we use it. Although we don't need to use it for a long time. We'll take the carpentry, so we're going to work on next, because we need that for upgrading the town center for more storage. And then, if I'm lucky, I can break this without it being a problem. If I'm unlucky, I'll have to put another signpost in. We are burning the sort of non-seasonal resources a little bit, so we don't. We're working through our tomato stockpile, working through our white meat stockpile. But otherwise, we're surplus on everything else that we use, really. Okay, going into clearing. And you finished. We're just going to immediately set that to upgrade. Oh, that needs planks to upgrade. Fair enough. Well, we still want someone to also be trained on that, so we'll get someone trained. That'll take them 3 turns to build. And by then we'll be started on planks. Or started on building things to build the planks, which will take some time, I suppose. Okay. Getting a little bit into putting the cart before the horse in some places. Which is not the best way to be doing things, but it's the way I did things. Okay, so, wait, I remembered after the Doom event was averted, the village was different. Research costs reduced by 15%, all dwellings gain space for 1 more pip, or buildings gain 50% resistance to flooded. I'm gonna go with higher knowledge. I don't think we necessarily need the extra space. We can always build more housing. And I don't think we're gonna get flooded, so. Flood is usually associated with bad events. Occasionally it happens on omens, but it's usually bad events. Good news, everybody! The Doom event has been diverted. Be careful, the longer we stay here, the more difficult it will be. However, I think we might make it this time. What do you mean, this time? I suppose it is time for you to know the truth. The truth about what? This is not the first village to be cursed. Where I come from, we had another elder. He was also a seer. What? The old village. It succumbed to the dooms. I am the only survivor. Cannot believe this. That is why I can see the visions. As the village elder, I am cursed with the sight of our future doom. But this time will be different. The prophecy. If you say so. Play out the season. We're pretty close to the season change already, I think. I can feel it in my bones. The next season is coming upon us. Get ready for it. And we finished carpentry. Yeah, we got 5 turns left. So this is going to be a short part, but that's sort of making up for the long part we had previously. We'll pick up the good point. And then we'll probably pick up the snow at some... Well, snow is next. So snow, rabbits, protests, so on and so forth up the tree. Some point we want warehouses, but we're probably not going to do this run. So that's carpentry. Is there anything else I want to enter the industry for the moment? I think no. Oh, the upgraded healer's house would not be a bad idea. Start researching that. And then carpentry. Plop. So it's 2 turns to you. Although I'm gonna have to get the carpenter properly trained. Yeah, we're gonna probably be waiting for the carpenter. Fair enough. Okay, let's cycle some turns. Okay, so we've got enough nature. I can turn that off. That frees up another worker. Not that I necessarily need the worker for anything. Just put them in hemp production. And yeah, I think we're good to cycle the turn again. Nice and simple. We've got a plan, and we're sticking to it for the moment. I think we're having a minor event here. Although what it is, I can't tell. Making something. Possibly making more tools. Planks. Just randomly gifting us some planks. Okay. I can work with that. Still need 2. I need more than 2. A wooden hobby. I can say this run has decided that we need a lot of wood. Of various sorts. Here's our healer's cottage. Which I probably will just tell that upgrade. We don't need the health right now, so getting that upgrade in right now is a good idea. The doc's house. Which needs a bourgeoisie specialist to work it. Although it is very productive at making health. +1 per each pip we're living within 1. This one only needs a cobblestone path to a dwelling, so we could literally put this in the middle and be getting 35 health. Although it requires a bourgeoisie specialist. So it won't necessarily be a cheap specialist to maintain. It'd be very productive making health. Although it also needs those polyjuices, so we need the apothecary working. Let's grab the town hall. We might work on the cottage after that. Cobblestone path to town center might actually be, depending on because where we got the town center, might be a little bit of a chore, but it would be mostly a chore, not an impossibility. And then it holds 2 bourgeoisie pops. We're not technically making any luxury food yet, although we probably do want to make some before we start doing that. I think those meatballs are bourgeoisie pops. We aren't making eggs. We'll have to get eggs going before we can do that. Although that isn't going to be too hard to do. It's more to me that I have a pop not doing thing. Train someone to be the professional chef here. Okay. Cycle turn. Oh, and I'll probably need to move on to improving our ability to cool our pops down. Because we're moving from winter into spring. Spring is hot, so we may have an unseasonably warm spring coming up. So I should really, after the town hall, go in and improve the pond and do some of the lower. So much like the bonfire, we're gonna have pond, and there'll be another cold building down here. Not sure what that cold building is, but we'll probably be wanting it. No, don't make heat. Don't use up the resources we don't need to use up. Although, we're going to be wasting resources either way, I think. Okay. So we'll get the town hall done. I think we'll set it to be working on the pond, and then we'll probably end the stream here. Because I don't suspect we got anything that's going to really interestingly happen, other than seeing the weather change. So this is the last day of winter. here comes the spring. Heat domain is enabled, which notably will wipe out all the cold and hot, and will make heat bad, which is a notable thing because we are running the furnace. The furnace makes heat. So we now have a building that is working against us instead of working for us on one of the domains. I see an unknown event coming upon us. The vision is confusing, but there is hope. We can fight it. So we have someone trained here, but we don't actually have enough of the input. Probably don't need someone working there. We'll probably want someone on you. Can I just nick the lumberjack? I can. Okay, that works. Well, we can train the other lumberjack over there. To upgrade you costs more planks than we have. We're going to set the pond as the next thing to research. It'll probably research as soon as the run ends. I could keep working. It automatically disables this because this is actually bad. This is generating heat. One from threat, one from heat. Actually, maybe we leave that off. I'll have to remember to turn it on later, and I may not remember to turn it on because it will be the next stream, obviously. We need a lot less people on hemp. We probably want to get berry production going. Maybe turn meat production down. Plant the crops. What if we turn you off? Where does that leave us food-wise? A little tight, but not too bad. Oh, we need to get the hunters going as well. Otherwise, we won't have enough meat for the next year. Yeah, I suppose I can do that. One. So we got plenty of hemp, got plenty of seed. Well, we have plenty of seeds because the seeds aren't going to be running every turn. It's going to be 12, and then we're going to stop for 10 turns, or for 5 turns. Well, 10 turns, but then it'll be every 6, every 5. Yeah, so I think we've basically just completed the adjustment back to spring. Got food balanced. We may want to get eggs going for meatballs. That shouldn't be too hard to do. Probably want to get a signpost here. Oh, I suppose I don't need those guys, so I can get the signpost going. We don't have the planks there, but we'll have them soon. Same there. Oh, and these are spring, so we could start planting these as well. Sure, we'll start planting those as well. Okay, so we want to upgrade the pool, the pond to a puddle to a pond? Puddle to a pond, yeah. But that'll be next time. So this is where we're going to go ahead and put the part break in for YouTube and probably end the stream for Twitch. We'll pick this up in the next stream of this in 4 days. If you're watching this on YouTube, that should mean there should be a part up for you tomorrow, which will be us playing out the spring here. I think we have 4 seasons left. So it'd be spring, summer, autumn, Oh, there is actually there's 2 winters. So we got 5 seasons left. So there'll be 5 parts left. We'll probably finish it up during the next stream. So we'll probably do a 5-parter instead of a 4-parter during the next stream. Which just means we'll have some overlap with whatever the next game is that we run after this. Before I go ahead and end the stream, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the schedule for the snooze so we don't have the ad interrupting us. I bring up the schedule for the streams coming over the next couple days so that I can update Twitch on what the streams were or streams will be. If you're watching this on YouTube at this point, that should be what the streams were. So if you can't wait to see any of the follow-ups, the bits that you're missing in the future, you can probably sneak over to Twitch. They'll probably still be up there for 14 days after they were streamed. So today was dotAge. So tomorrow will be Xenonauts. Last stream didn't go super well. In fact, we started the game over. If things go well, that probably won't be the last stream. We'll probably keep going. If things go horribly, like if we get graphics problems like we did last time, we'll probably go ahead and bring the run to a close. But I suspect we'll probably just make it throughout the stream. The day after tomorrow, which will be Wednesday, will be Strategic Command, World War I, the Cold Arms campaign. Think things are about to get a bit spicy for the Entente powers as we begin to go on the offensive in various places using artillery. Thursday will be the continuation of Shadow Empire. We're not actually in last in Shadow Empire. Apparently other majors are having it worse than us, although the situation is not necessarily going super great for us. And then Friday will be the continuation of dotAge. We will probably finish up dotAge on Friday. So if you have any suggestions of what to play next, feel free to let me know. If you're watching on YouTube, this is the perfect video to put that on as a replacement for dotAge, because by the time you're watching this video, we've completed dotAge, but we haven't streamed what we're going to replace dotAge with. So if there's a specific thing you want to see streamed, now's a good time to let me know. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitch, anytime over the next 4 or so days, bring it up. We have a Twitch commenter that's saying, "Hey, how's it going?" It's going pretty well. We just did 4 parts. I think without any of the unexpected or the unknown bad events happening. So for a dotAge run on normal difficulty, that's pretty good. But yeah, so that's the upcoming schedule. If there's anything you want to see run over when this game ends, because this game, we're probably going to record like 5 more hour-long parts, and then we'll probably be done with this game, which is what we're going to run on Friday. Feel free to let me know. If you're watching on Twitch, after I finish this outro, I'm going to leave the stream up for about a minute to respond to any of your comments. And if there's anything you want to see in the game, feel free to let me know. If you're watching on YouTube, this is a game where you only get 1 save for a profile. So I can't come back and look at things. If there's anything you want me to explain about the game and how the game works, feel free to let me know. But there isn't necessarily an easy way for me to come in and see things as they are at this point. So with that, this is where we're going to head the run and we're going to run end this part in this stream. So until the next part and or next stream, I'm going to go ahead and wish you all the best of luck, a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.